Hey guys, Cece here. I know it's been a while, but I am back to welcome you guys to Game Over Jesse's channel for a brand new episode of Zelda Mailbag. Let's get started. Before I get started, I want to say good luck to everyone that is trying to win that Link figure. It's pretty awesome. I want one. But yeah, good luck. Okay, so this question is from Good Ridge Gaming, and you asked, do you think that Midna should return in a future canon game, whether it be a Twilight Princess 2 or a new game entirely? I love Midna, I'm not gonna lie. I love her. I love her character, her little sassy attitude, and how her character built up and developed a friendship and bond with Link. And in the end, how it was like heartbreaking. You know, how she broke the mirror and everything. It would be interesting to see how she would come back in another game, given the circumstances of, you know, what happened at the end of Twilight Princess, but I would love to see her in a future game. But, like, Twilight Princess 2, kind of like Majora's Mask right after Ocarina of Time, would it be the same Link, or like you said, or like an entirely different Zelda game, so maybe she meets a new Link, a new hero? I want to see her in a future Zelda game. That'd be cool. This next question is from Daniel Dominic. You asked, do you think that Nintendo will introduce the older Tunics like in Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess? Such as the Goron or the Zora Tunic, or maybe some new Tunics? And if so, do you think they will have any side effects or abilities? Also, you're a great YouTuber. Yes, Jesse, you're a great YouTuber. Now, to answer the question, I actually did a video on my channel discussing the Tunics and how, like, I'm wondering if they'll bring them back. So far, it doesn't seem like we're gonna see the Tunic. I mean, if anything, maybe the iconic green tunic, but all the other tunics and outfits are not your traditional, like, ones. There are outfits that you wear in the cold. There's outfits you wear when it's hot, at least from what I've heard or seen. So like if you don't have this specific outfit, you can freeze, I think. So certain outfits do benefit Link, but I don't know if we're going to have like a Zora tunic or a Goron tunic from the trailers and stuff. I know they don't want to show NPCs and stuff, but we also haven't even seen any Zoras or Gorons, just enemies, basically, and the old man and Zelda's voice. I do hope that we get Zoras and Gorons, though. Like, I mean, even if we don't get those tunics, we're still gonna have outfits that have not necessarily abilities, but will, what's the word? Help Link in his journey, you know. Side effects. Are you thinking of the tunic that like cost like 1,000,000 bajillion rupees, and after a certain amount of hits you lose rupees, and without the rupees the tunic weighs you down? Side effects like that? That'd suck. That would be a pain in the butt. I hope not.
Our next question comes from Cessseeezy, who asks, do you think Nintendo will bring back Zelda games with linear gameplay after Breath of the Wild? Well, we don't know officially what exactly is going to happen with the Zelda series after Breath of the Wild. We know they're going to be reusing this same engine, but with a multiplayer Zelda game, kind of like Triforce Heroes, but with the Breath of the Wild engine. And that comes from an interview with Miyamoto or Aonuma, one of the two. And if they do that, I can see them changing the formula yet again to add in the multiplayer, because we haven't seen a traditional 3D Zelda game that was multiplayer. We got Triforce Heroes and the Four Swords games, which were kind of the top-down 2D or 2.5D, but it wasn't like the camera's behind Link's back. It's a full 3D world, and it's multiplayer. We haven't seen that yet, so that'll be interesting, seeing what they can do with Breath of the Wild's engine in that sense. The formula, I could see it being the same as in Breath of the Wild, to where you have this huge open world that you can go and do whatever in. I don't think that'll be a linear experience, but just as they got tired of making the linear games like Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, and even Majora's Mask at some sense, I can see them getting tired of eventually using this Breath of the Wild formula after maybe 5 or 6 years from now, after they've made 3, maybe 4 games using this new formula. And they could go back to a more linear direction, or they could have another team like how they partnered with Capcom to make Minish Cap, and I believe they were even behind the original Four Swords games as well. Their partnership made one of my favorite Zelda games, again, Minish Cap, so maybe they'll give it to a third-party developer to make the more traditional Zelda game that we're used to, while they focus on expanding the series and improving on this new formula that they have.
This question is from Kamoku Lisa-chan. You asked, how would you feel if you somehow got transported into the game and played as Link? Okay, I'm gonna open up a little right now. When I was a little girl, I used to dream or daydream of like being in Hyrule. Maybe not necessarily as Link, but being there with all the characters. With Ocarina of Time is the first Zelda game I played. So at the time when I was younger, I used to imagine myself with Melon and Zelda and everyone, even down to the very last like guard. I pictured myself running around Hyrule. But if I were thrown into the world as Link, first of all, being a male would surprise me. You know, show up in Hyrule and suddenly I'm a guy. Link, hello. Second of all, I think I would feel really like excited at first, but then when I realize that Hyrule can be very dangerous, I'd probably poop my pants and like be really scared. I would not have the Triforce of Courage because I'd be really scared. Those monsters and everything that are fun to fight in the game would be really scary in person. Like, just imagine going to the Shadow Temple in real life. No. Ooh.
My first question comes from Jonathan Candenoza, who asks, what do you think about changing Link's gender? Now, I know a lot of people are for this, they want to see a female protagonist in a Zelda game, but then there are other people that think it would completely ruin the franchise for them. But I believe if they did it in a way that complemented the story instead of taking it away or making it feel like it was just shoved in and out of place, if they could make it fit in a Zelda game and make it still feel like a Zelda game, I would absolutely love that. And the situation that I think of that always comes to mind is one that I brought up a while back during a discussion video I had with Megan and Joey, to where, take the Wind Waker as an example, to where Link is sleeping up outside of the house and his grandmother sends Errol, Link's sister, to wake him up. In that same way, if there was another game where Link had a sister and there was a parent figure, uncle, grandmother, whoever, I'm just going to use the grandmother for the Wind Waker's sake. Say if Wind Waker would have started and Link's grandmother walked in the room and the camera kind of panned over her and you've seen two people laying on a bed and the beds are beside each other, and it asks, who are you? Or they say whatever name you type in, whether it's a boy's name, girl's name, Jesse, Jessica, Link, Linkle, whatever you want to put it as, and it says, who are you? And then you can kind of switch between either the female on one bed or the male on the other, and then that is whoever you pick is who wakes up and begins their adventure. And maybe if there's a way that you can go back to the house and switch between the two, or a second player could play as the other person, because the next Zelda game they're going to be working on is a multiplayer Zelda game. And with all the fans that loved Linkle, maybe that's something they would do, is since it won't be a traditional first player or one player Zelda game, maybe they will experiment with that. How they experimented with Triforce Heroes and all the different outfits that you had. Because Other than changing the formula, which they've already done, there's not much else to change or evolve the series, unless it was something like this or even more voice acting. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below.
Alright, this question, I apologize, I'm probably gonna butcher your name right now. This one is from Siddhant Agarwal. You asked, do you think Breath of the Wild will be a step forward in Zelda like Ocarina of Time was? Yes, I do think so. Like, for the series, some of these changes they're making are huge. And even, like, down to the simplest things. Like, when I hung out with Joey from Ferris Wheel Productions for the first time, he had gone to E3 and he was telling me about the demo and everything. He was excited that Link could jump. Like, tiny things, like the things they're changing. The fact that something so small like that could excite him and me and other people, that's pretty big. I mean, like they said, they're trying to change the conventions of Zelda. We've been accustomed to a style for Zelda, and this is changing that. And although everyone's tired of waiting and, you know, they're bothered with the delay and this and that, I do feel like despite all of that, this game is going in a positive direction. And hopefully the NX is a success, because I know the Wii U wasn't so much a success. You know, fingers crossed for Nintendo. But I do feel like this game for the franchise is going in a positive direction. Even though some people are actually might be really unhappy with the change because, you know, they've become accustomed to the traditions of Zelda. But, you know, change isn't always bad. Okay, and this question is from Super Mark's show? And you asked, do you think they will do anything to do underwater? Do you think there will be anything to do underwater in Breath of the Wild? I think this kind of brings me back to the whole Tunic conversation, because the Zora Tunic is what allowed Link to breathe underwater, or the Zora fins in some of the handheld games allowed him to swim. Because, I mean, unless we get an item, I don't know how that would work. From what I've seen in the game, Link can drown easily. Or, yeah, I remember Joey telling me that he drowns way too quickly. I hope we can do things underwater. I loved that. I love the Zoras, if you don't know that about me. But, and the water temple. You know, that's everyone's favorite. So yeah, I think that just goes back to the Tunic, or maybe not even a Tunic, maybe something, you know, that would just allow him to stay underwater. Maybe even something he can put in his mouth to breathe underwater. Something, because it doesn't look like Link is very fond of water in this game so far. I mean, still is a lot that we have not seen yet. Sorry, my speaking is just I haven't done a Zelda Mailbag in a while, so I'm excited. I'm hyped right now. But yeah, I do think he would need something to go underwater. And until we see that, it's hard to answer that question. But it would be really cool. In my opinion, I can't answer for fact, but for my opinion, I think it would be really fun, and something they should do is have underwater activities, like whether it's a dungeon or a Sheikah shrine underwater. Hello? No, I don't know. But you know, we'll see.
The winner for this week's Zelda Mailbag and our final question comes from Hylian Kate. She asks, will time travel return in Breath of the Wild? P.S. I love your videos. First off, thank you so much for the compliment and being a fan of my videos. And second, will time travel appear in Breath of the Wild? I hope that it does. I kind of believe that it does. I don't think it'll be as prominent as it was in Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, to where you're constantly going back and forth. In Ocarina of Time, it's 7 years in the past or 7 years in the future. And then in Majora's Mask, you rewind time back to the first of the 3 days. I don't think it'll be something like that. I think it'll be more along the lines of how in Skyward Sword you had certain items, the time shift stones, that would, in a certain proximity to the time shift stone, would bring time back to where the robots were restored, or there was a lake instead of the sandy desert. Maybe it'll be something like that. We've seen the Temple of Time is in ruins, and there could be a chance that you rebuild it or restore the Temple of Time. We see the goddess statue inside the Temple of Time glowing at certain points. So maybe. That's really all I can say is maybe. I hope there is. It kind of seems like there might be. And if not, then I think there will definitely be like something in the game that allows you to sleep to move ahead to the next night or the next day. But other than that, that's really all I have for you. Thank you for your questions, and sorry to those who had their questions answered but didn't win, and congratulations to you, Hailey and Kate. I will reach out to you on Twitter, or you can contact me on Twitter, and I will get all the information that I need from you to send the Zelda statue. So once again, thank you all, and give us more questions below for our next Zelda Mailbag, where we will be giving something else out. I'm thinking maybe a poster or the Twilight Princess amiibo, the wolf statue. So good luck on that to those who enter. And once again, thank you all for watching.
Okay, so I have answered 5 of your questions. And until the next Zelda Mailbag, I'll see you guys then. For those of you who are wondering, that have submitted questions and didn't hear it in this video, it will be probably thrown into the next mailbag. There were a lot of questions on there. I can't answer them all in one video, but you know, we will have a constant streak of Zelda mailbags coming out more often now. I plan to help Jessie with the Zelda mailbags. I really enjoyed this. I hope you guys did too. Again, like I said earlier, good luck with that Link figure giveaway, you know. Alright, have a great day, guys. Bye. Alright, first question I have here is from Goodridge Gaming. You asked, do you think that Midna should return in a future canon game, whether it be a Twilight Princess 2 or a new game entirely? How awkward, Jessie's calling me. I'm doing your mailbag and you're like, literally, look at this hair. What is up?
What's up everyone, this is Jesse and welcome to the Inslate. I would like to thank you for watching this video. If you're a fan of my Zelda or gaming news, theory, or discussion videos like this, please consider supporting this channel by donating through patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can get new videos early, be able to join on discussion or theory videos, get shoutouts, and tons of other great rewards. Thank you all so much for allowing me to do this, watching my videos, and especially you Alex Myers, Jonathan, The Itch Network, and John Frank for your support on Patreon.